So I just want to talk about parts of when I talked about in another video, I talked about really seeing myself in the place of the observer. So this video is going to be about the observer. I want to talk about how it feels to move through anxiety or fear or frustration or anger while you're in the observer seat. It's a vast difference from moving through it from the observer seat versus just being out in your mind everywhere, all the where. Now, the observer is quite literally the person sitting in your head or your consciousness, just sitting there watching the stream of thoughts, ideas, feelings going. It's not connecting or holding on to anything. So this morning, I had a bout of anger, irritation more like. And so I witnessed it. It was a little snappy, and I raised my voice a little bit. But by observing it and just feeling it move through my body, it lasted like the fraction amount of it normally lasting. Like, I think I moved through it in like a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes, you know. And I mean, I'm not saying I'm a person who sits in frustration for a long time, but when I'm not the observer, it certainly hangs out for like 20 minutes or something, half hour sometimes. Sometimes it's, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But it was super fast as the observer because I wasn't holding on to it. It was just going by. It was just moving through my body. It was just burning up as it moved through. I wasn't holding on to anything. I was just seeing myself as the observer while the energy was moving through. And then I had a bout of anxiety today. It came on strong. It was a lot of different things that came at me at once, and I just witnessed it instead of getting all up in thinking about why I have anxiety and perpetuating it and giving the things that were giving me anxiety, more attention. I just sat with the feeling. I didn't try to escape my body. I didn't try to do something to escape the feeling. I sat with the feeling and I let it move through me, and the anxiety moved through me a lot faster than it normally does. So what I'm really picking up here is being in the seat of the observer helps these energies move through us with a lot more grace and ease. When we're not holding on, the emotions, the feelings can just do their job. Make you aware that there's something going on under the surface that is making you feel uncomfortable or is working its way through. But putting yourself back in the observer seat anytime you want to start reaching out and holding that is going to help it continue to just move on out and not stick around. Because I must have had 4 anxiety things come at me. And it's sometimes for me, anxiety hits and then something else hits it and something else hits. And pretty soon I'm so overwhelmed and I'm freaking out status, and then I start snapping. Sorry. Little mishap. And so then I just go down this path of Snappy McSnapperson. Well, I didn't necessarily do that. I just kept feeling it and relaxing my root to let it all move through. And there were situations where I heard the thoughts of wanting to reach out and snap, but I was able to hold myself back from being snappy. It's like a dog on a leash that's barking at another dog that's foaming out the mouth or something. It's I was able to hold that dog back. It was barking inside, but it wasn't barking outside. And I think that's probably a pretty magical spot right there. It's giving it, that's when you observe, you're giving your thoughts, your feelings space. between being in them and not being in them. And that space makes all the difference, because then it allows us to sit while it passes without snapping, without just going along for the ride. And also I put on some affirmation, like an affirmations video, and just reaffirm the, you know, the energies that I was working through. And it helped me just move that anxiety energy through me, and all was well in a lot shorter period of time than I normally would have. You know, I can just only imagine the more I practice being the observer, the more things are just gonna move through and be so much easier for me to deal with. I might not even be a person who has to deal with much anxiety anymore. I'm healing it through this. I mean, well, and other things, you know, but it's a huge eye opener. You know, I've heard about people talking about the observer for a long time, and I've been journaling on it and meditating on it and affirming it, and I'm just definitely getting down the spiral a little tighter with the observer and seeing it on a whole different level. Because the last couple days I've been really stretched, and having that observer has really helped me not get swept away like a million times. Like, I've conserved a lot of energy. I've put more energy back into my heart and loving myself and knowing that I'm moving through it. Everything's going to be okay. I have a lot more energy for other things than anxiety, frustration, fear, anger, sitting in emotions instead of just letting them flow through. Anyways, that's the tidbits I got to share for you today. Thank you so much for showing up to receive the message. Until next time, love and laughter.